Power's out in my place right now as I pack up all my stuff. LA's a last gift for me.
Listen, first the fat boys break up. Now every day I wake up, somebody got a problem with hope. What's up, y'all? All fed up cause I got a little cheddar and my record's moving out the store.
Man, I'm gonna be missing having two windows in my bedroom. This one always got the good morning light, and that one provided really good afternoon light. I'm definitely not gonna have that in New York for a really long time, so I gotta savor this for the next 5 minutes before the movers come. And this is all the junk that I've packed up for the move. I'm surprised that I was able to fit pretty much all this stuff in my Honda when I moved down here. Good thing we have a truck. Oh, there they are. Alright, thanks to Piece of Cake Moving for getting all of my stuff in one piece from LA to New York. These guys were professionals. Thank you so much. Thank you. Use the code down here to save yourself 10% off a local move or 5% off a long distance move. They will not disappoint. Thanks to Piece of Cake Moving. So let's talk about how I ended up here in New York. Well, it's kind of actually like a 2-year-long story starting in mid-2021 when my career had a lot of momentum from YouTube at that time in the Bay Area where I was living. But I was kind of feeling like I was hitting my creative cap in my home turf. You know, I spent my whole life there. I only moved 45 minutes away from home for college, and then after that I was locked down for a year and a half during COVID, so I felt like it was time for a change of scenery. So I started contemplating and spitballing different cities and locations of where I'll be living in to grow as a person and as a creative artist. New York was plan A because I saw it as kind of like the aggressive frying pan, but Seattle and Los Angeles were close runners up. But with every idea that I had, the theme that was consistent throughout all the potential decisions was that they were all going to be temporary. LA for maybe 2 to 3 years, Seattle for maybe a handful of years, and New York kind of an indefinite amount. But I always saw myself retiring and spending the rest of my life in the Bay Area, so wherever I was going to move, it was going to be just a way of growing outside of my home. But as I was saying, New York was plan A. I always saw this place as a frying pan, a nice creative challenge that I would want to put myself through at least once in my life. But things started changing. I got a job opportunity down in LA, and I also started dating a girl back in California. And I didn't want to do the whole cross-country 3-hour time difference, so I just went down to LA, and New York became a back burner dream. So I did it. I made the move to LA, and then I got backstabbed from that employer. My relationship didn't work out. I met some really unscrupulous characters, found out that people were using me, and then month after month, just things kept happening. So it wasn't the greatest. But luckily for me, my career still kept growing. I got a lot of work opportunities outside of LA, and things were looking good on the work side, but everything outside of that was just getting worse as each month kept passing by. But even with all this shit that was happening, I still wanted to give back to LA. So when B&H reached out to me for collaboration, we went back and forth on what we should do, but we ultimately ended on a community outreach event in LA when I could have done it on my home turf in the Bay Area. We are, dude, I'm honestly like so nervous because I was just notified by my B&H rep this morning that we have 100 signups, and I have no idea how we're gonna fit that many people in the Venice canals, to be honest. Hopefully we have enough rolls of film for everybody. We have 100. And we have 100 signups. I don't think everybody's gonna show up. Pretty sure we would break a record actually for a B&H event if we do have all 100 people sign up, but hopefully it goes well. How insane does it look? It looks pretty good. Just leading people through the hood of LA.
Disturbing the peace.
I love disturbing the peace for photography.
Introduce yourself to the channel.
Douglas Flores, Instagram Little Nacho.
State your name for the channel.
It's Ryan J. Leone.
My name is Fung Vi Tran.
I'm Andrew Dow.
All right, state your name.
Hannah.
So emphatic. How many vintage cars have you shot in your entire career?
I don't think I've shot any vintage cars actually.
You've never shot? So would you say that you have more taste than everybody here? What is the biggest animal that you could throw?
Animal that I could throw.
The biggest animal that you could throw.
Probably like a chihuahua.
How many people do you think didn't wash their hands before this meetup?
Oh shoot. Probably like 90%.
Which two YouTube photographers do you want to see in the boxing ring?
Oh my god.
Which two photographers would you want to see in a boxing match?
Well, I dropped my M6 literally 15 minutes ago, so...
You did?
Yeah, I kid you not, I dropped it.
Where is it? State your name for the channel.
My name is Brian Tarpley.
How long have you been a photographer?
I've been a photographer about, I'd say 4 to 5 years now.
4 to 5 years. Have you always been in LA as a photographer?
No, I just moved out to LA like a year and a half ago.
Where were you before?
I lived in the Carolina, so I moved a lot between South and North Carolina. Yeah. So Southern boy right here.
Oh, so you've been in LA for a year and a half. I've been in LA for 10 months. What has been the hardest part about being a photographer in LA?
Getting rid of all the other photographers.
What do you think is missing in the photography community down here in LA?
You know, it's gonna sound crazy. I wish there were more film people.
More film people?
I didn't need to be more film out there.
Oh, that is an interesting observation. I think there's a lot of film people down here. Okay, but very last question.
Yes.
Out of all the YouTube photographers that you know in the entire space, which two do you want to see in a boxing ring?
In a boxing ring? And it gotta be Willem and Chris, man. Willem
me?
Yeah, you and Willem.
Willem is 6'3", dude. He's like a foot taller than me. Who do you think would win?
Yeah. Gotta be Chris, bro. Gotta be Chris.
Appreciate you, man. All right, thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate all of you for walking, talking, getting to know each other. Oh, hold the applause. Hold the applause. I don't need that. Appreciate it. Very thankful for all of you. It's been an honor having fun, asking dumb questions with you guys, and also taking sick photos. Hope to see you guys in the next one. I didn't get interviewed. Peace.
So let's get to the question of why New York City?
Well, from the jump, I didn't move here for street photography, even though New York City is kind of the capital for that, and I didn't move here for a specific job opportunity. The main reason why I moved out here was to simply live here. And just being out here in the city inspires a lot of creativity, and more importantly, I could see myself growing a lot here as a person. In LA, it was quite the opposite, and I know it might sound a little bit silly to blame your environment on growth, but personally, my surroundings have a heavy effect on me, from my bedroom to my living room. Plus, I love being around people, and New York City is kind of an organism where all parts and corners of the city kind of play a role, whereas LA kind of seems like there's a lot of empty spaces in between points A and B, and thank you for starting your car right now. This is just one of those things I have to deal with filming out on my fire escape. But it's pretty dope that I even have one to begin with. And every city has its fault, right? I'm not looking at this new place like it's perfect and that it's going to just make everything super smooth. I know what it's good for, but I'm also taking it along with the bad. And I think that anybody who's considering a big life decision like moving to a new place, let alone across the country, has to consider the highs and lows of that new environment, plus the mundaneness, like the everyday things like doing laundry and even doing taxes. Shout out to Everything Everywhere all at once. And luckily for me, I had 3 great friends who flew across the country to help me get settled in my first 7 days. They helped me bring some stuff in and walked around and got familiar with the area with me. Forever thankful for those friends. You guys know who you are.
It's my brick outside, yer.
I'm so fucking bricked up right now.
Joe Morales is a lying, cheating bastard, and this timeless verse needs to be used for a better purpose. It was worn twice.
Bro, what?
It's the most aesthetic apple eating I've ever seen.
Did you say apple eating?
I didn't get that.
Better than that? At the time of this recording, we're 7 days into living in New York City, and right now I'm just filled with so much love. I feel like I fit seamlessly into this environment. This is the type of setting that I find myself thriving in. And this feeling is kind of based on some nostalgia of the old San Francisco that I grew up in, the pre-gentrified tech movement one, but I'll get into that in another video. So yeah, man, New York City. Very excited.
Yeah, straight out the fucking dungeons of rap. but fake don't make it back. I don't know how to start this. Yo. Rappers are monkey flipping with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, inflicting composition of pain.